Hey, what's going on, guys? Getting ready to rip this blaster box that I got from Target. This is Donruss 2019-2020 basketball. Comes with 88 cards in a box. Looks like 11 cards with 8 cards per pack. We're obviously Zion hunting. 1 autograph or memorabilia card per box. I wanted to do something a little different with this video, something that I haven't seen done yet in a video when ripping boxes or opening packs. Is I wanted to take 3 cards from this box and take a closer look at them and take a look at corners and centering. I have a jeweler's loop, so I wanted to take a look at those on video and see kind of what the grades are looking like on cards from this set. I thought it would be something cool, something useful to look at for guys that might be wanting to grade cards from this particular set. So we'll take a look at that after I open all these guys up. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, it's 8 cards per pack, 11 cards per box. All right. Found this box at the back of the bottom shelf at Target that I was at. All the gravity feed ones were all gone. This was the only Donruss product that they had. So hopefully that's a sign. Usually it isn't, but we'll see. We'll see what we get here. So looks like my last pack here, maybe my last 2. One of these looks like it has the memorabilia. Yeah, it looks like this one right here. So we're going to put that one aside for the end. Then we'll crack these guys open. Alright, let's see what we get. Probably blow through these pretty quickly. Most of them are just base cards. Looking at the base card, Donruss is one of the lower end products for Panini. Obviously Hoops comes out first. Donruss is right after. It's just cool because they're the first 2 products of the year. The design is typically nothing like spectacular, but at least we get a colored background on the Donruss, whereas Hoops is typically just black and white. Yeah. Let's see, this one is a complete players, Kemba Walker. We got a rated rookie, Brandon Clark, Bruno Fernando. Oh, nothing too great in that pack. AD, LeBron, complete players, Bradley Beal. There's a Jackson Hayes rated rookie. We're obviously looking for some numbered stuff in these guys. I think there's a cool Marvels hit that you can get. Let's see, we got something nice here. Hamidou Diallo. Looks like an orange, not explosion, but orange laser probably. There's a Ja Morant rated rookie. Nice. We'll put that aside. Maybe we'll look at that one for grading. Deion Waiters, Marvin Bagley III. I know some people like to open up all the packs in the beginning and then kind of blow through the cards. I think that kind of takes the fun out of it. I like to kind of go one by one. Look at that. A Zion, Great Expectations. That's a cool card. Of course, we're Zion hunting, so most likely going to look at that one. I want to look at 3 different cards. I want to look at a rookie card, so we'll look at a rated rookie. We'll look at one of the inserts, which will likely be that Great Expectations Zion, and we'll look at the autograph or jersey card that we get as well. Just want to check out corners and centering, just because that's really the most you can check out on camera underneath the jeweler's loop that I have. And then surface and edges are a little trickier to see, but corners and what am I looking at? Corners and centering are the 2 most weighted parameters that they look at Beckett. So those will be important ones to look at. So another Great Expectations, Jarrett Culver. Cody Martin, PJ Washington, Andrew Wiggins, and Alani Walker IV. It's a franchise features of Steph. Nicholas Claxton, Kobe White, Lonzo Trier, Bradley Beal. I don't know what happened with Alonzo Trier. He was pretty hot last year. Start the year off, cards were selling pretty well. I actually pulled an auto of his and flipped it quick when he was hot, and haven't heard from him since. Tim Hardaway Jr., who's playing pretty well this year. Got a Kawhi Changing Stripes. Okay, so from the Raptors to the Clippers, Changing Stripes. Keldon Johnson, rated rookie, Terrence Mann, Joel Embiid, Justice Winslow. D'Lo, PJ Tucker, Lauri Markkanen, and an orange laser, Clint Capella. Dylan Windler, DeAndre Jordan, Rudy Gobert, and our last pack, which should have our memorabilia card. Looks like it does. We got Chandler Hutchinson, Montrezl Harrell, and a Darius Bazley jersey series. Hang on to that one. Great Expectations, PJ Washington, Chuma Okeke, Kevin Porter Jr., and just base Yusef Nurkic and Karl Anthony Towns. Cool. So I'm going to sleeve up these cards real quick that I want to go ahead and take a look at as far as looking at grades. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I got the 3 cards here that we're going to take a look at as far as the centering and corners go. We got this Ja Morant rated rookie. We got this Great Expectations, and this, who is this? Darius Bazley jersey card here. So we're going to look at all 3 of these just really quickly at the centering and on the corners. So looking at this John Morant, I could tell instantly that the left side border is much thicker than the right side. That's actually probably the biggest discrepancy I've seen in a minute, that I've paid attention to anyways, on a card. I mean, that discrepancy is probably that. I mean, that would probably get like an 8.5, maybe an 8 on centering. I mean, you can tell like the right side border is super thin compared to the left side border. And then you want to look at your tops. The top and bottom are a little bit more evenly centered. They're not, they're not as, like, this top is not nearly as thick or as thin as the bottom. But yeah, definitely the right and left. On the back, not as bad. You can see the right side is probably a little, it's a little bit bigger than the left. But overall, the front is the most important. And again, centering is heavily weighted by Beckett. So this card would probably get probably like an 8, maybe an 8.5 on centering. So even if everything else was perfect on this card, you'd probably get no more than an 8.5 on it. So as far as Beckett goes, so I wouldn't grade this card anyways. I mean, these cards, unless you got something that was numbered, a Zion that was numbered, or just something that you really were hunting for and you were confident you were going to get a 9.5 or a 10 on it, I probably wouldn't send these guys in for grading. But just for the fun of it, we'll take a look. And now we'll take a look at the corners. So on this guy here, I'm going to use my jeweler's loop that I have here. I believe this guy is a 20 times magnified jeweler's loop. So we'll take a look at each corner here and see how they look. So this one here, top left corner of the front side on Ja, looks okay. Yeah, it's sharp, little bit of fuzz, but nothing crazy. Right side is much better, no fuzz really surrounding the corners. Let's see, bottom right corner, this one looks pretty good as well. And left corner looks pretty good. So front side looks good. Let's take a look at the back. Back top left is good. Back top right is okay. Little fuzz hanging off the top, but nothing crazy. And bottom right corner looks okay. Bottom left corner, maybe a bit of a ding on it. But all in all, the corners look pretty good. I would probably say that the corners on this guy would probably be safe to go with a 9.5 on corners. So 9.5 on corners for John Morant, and probably an 8.5 on centering. This is another rated rookie. We're not really going to look at this one, but you can see that the left and the right borders on this card are much more even compared to the John Morant. Next card we're going to look at is going to be we'll go with the Zion, Great Expectations. So Great Expectations, Zion, got kind of like a cool comic book look feel to it, I guess. You'll see this right side border and left side border look pretty even. And then what I like to do is look at the top and look at where the lettering is, and then look at where the name is at the bottom. So looking at that looks pretty close as well, as far as the distance from the bottom of the card to where the lettering starts, and then same thing up here where the lettering is to the top of the card. Do those match pretty closely? In this case, I think they do. I think the centering on the front looks pretty good. On the back, same thing. I just look at the borders on the left and right, look pretty good. Same thing at the bottom here. Top looks good. I would say the centering on this would be like a 9.5 in my opinion. Alright, let's take a look at the corners. Top left corner, little bit of fuzz, but okay. Top right, okay. Bottom right, see there's a little bit of chipping on it because it's got a black background on it, so you see a little bit of white chipping. Bottom left, oh yeah, bottom left is definitely either fuzz or chipped. Not great on that. Backside, Top left, looks okay, but there's a little bit of chipping bleeding into the corner. Top right looks okay. Bottom right, probably okay. Little bit of chipping. Bottom left, okay. Overall, I would probably say the corners on this guy would probably get a 9. So we got 9.5 on centering, and then a 9 on corners. Just a little bit too much chipping on the back side, you know, where the black border is. So, or I'm sorry, on the front side where the black borders are. So, all right, and then this last card here is the jersey card. That's Darius Baisley of the Oklahoma City Thunder. These ones are always interesting to look at because they're thicker cards. Sometimes they have excessive, you know, chipping on the corners, on the edges. Typically not the best cards to grade, but then again, you know, they'll have the highest value because they usually have a jersey or they have an autograph. Even getting an 8.5, you know, sometimes on a really rare jersey autograph card could fetch you a couple bucks. So sometimes it's worth it to do it. In this case, I probably wouldn't. It's just a regular, you know, probably not even game worn. This is probably just player worn. Let's see if it says the enclosed player worn material is guaranteed. Yeah, so it's not even guaranteed that it was in a game at all. It just could have been something that he wore him, you know, during a photo shoot, and that was it, you know. So we're going to take a look at this guy, see what the corners look like. But actually, let's take a look at centering. So on this guy, little trickier to determine centering. You don't really have anything. You don't have any borders or anything like that to go off of. So let's take a look at the back. So the back is where you're really going to see if you got some decent centering. You can look at down here between this border and the edge of the card, and the same on the opposite side. Kind of eyeball them, take a look. Sometimes I get a ruler out and you know, I measure down to the millimeter and see, you know, if those are pretty accurate. This guy looks pretty well centered. Right and left here look pretty good. On the front side, I mean, there's not really much to look at here. I mean, you could say maybe the lettering here and the border here, but that's a pretty big discrepancy. It doesn't really match the back side. So I would still probably say this is still going to get you like a 9.5 on centering. So let's take a look at corners on this guy. So, alright, so top left corner on this guy, a little bit of fuzz on there. So not good to start. Top right, not as bad, but still some fuzz there. Bottom right, little chipped there. And then bottom left, yeah, you see a lot of chipping there. So no good there. Back side, top left, yep, a lot of just fuzz and, you know, chipping with the black gray background. Top right looks okay for a jersey card. Bottom right, you can definitely see it. Fuzzy there. Bottom left, no good. So, corners on this guy, not great at all. I mean, maybe an 8.5 if they want to be lenient, because that's how these cards are made. But yeah, maybe an 8.5 on corners. That's it. So I appreciate you guys watching. Just thought I'd share a few tips on grading. You know, maybe we'll look at surface and edges on the next video after I play around with it and see how this one comes out. And hope you guys liked it. Definitely subscribe. Check out my new Instagram page, GME_cards, and like and subscribe on the YouTube page. All right. Thanks a lot.